right up front, I just want to remind you that I'm learning this right along with you. I've never done this before. This idea of inventing these mosaic actions, I didn't learn this somewhere else. This is something I'm trying to understand and wrap my head around. So in creating these actions, I realized, hey, 5,000, maybe I should have chosen 4,000 or maybe even 6,000, because there is a lot more numbers that are evenly divisible into 6,000 than there are into 5,000. But in doing this, excuse me, about halfway through, I realized, oh my goodness, there's a better way to do this. Now, these may look the same, but these actions are much shorter. And the reason they're shorter is to work more efficiently. And that's what I want to take you through in these quick tutorials, because this isn't going to be as long as the 1.0, as the original mosaics, because I don't have to remind you of a lot of stuff you already know. So let's get started. And the first thing I want to do is select this group of actions we already created. Now, I just want to remind you, you need to have tested them and make sure they work, because if they don't work, this isn't going to work. All right, so clicking on that, and we can come down, and there's a lot of different ways to do this, and we're just going to duplicate this. And instead of copy, I'm going to double click here and call it flat. And the reason I'm calling it flat is we're not going to build up a bunch of layers. We're going to use an Illustrator file like this one right here, but we're going to make it right now without making an action first. I'm going to click on this and delete it. And we have a 5, if I click on the artboard tool right here, we can see we got 5,000 by 5,000. Okay, I'm going to move my registration point up here because that's how I want to work. And then I've already saved this file. If I hit F a couple times, well, I'll click here, hit F a couple times, you can see I've named it. This is the code on Unsplash that takes me to this image when I go into their photo section. And then I cropped it because it's actually a huge file. And then I modified it in Photoshop, and that's how I got the blur. And that's what that name is. So if we do a save as, I'm just going to do a save, but I'm going to replace my file to show you. I'm putting it right in here next to my original Photoshop file. I'm going to cancel that and just hit Command S to save this file. And then I'm going to place that image. Remember, Shift Command P, start learning this. If you're going to do this, and great shortcut, Shift Command P, and we're going to pick that mod PSD. Now this is a flat image. It's not multi-layered. Whoops. Is that right? Am I in the right file? Let's try that. Okay, so come up here, and I'm going to come up to the intersect and click. Oh, let me hit Command Z. Undo that. Now I'm going to pull up Shift Command P again and remind you, turn off this link. This link has to be off, because if you get a big X across your image, it's not going to work. So let's go ahead and pick that file again and click at the intersect. I don't have an X. With it selected, I can come over to the Attributes panel and put whatever it is I have in the action. In this case, I just have a 1, okay, for the name of this. And now I'm going to save this and close it. Now, why close it? I'm closing it because I want you to see here is our original file. This is the one we're going to use again and again and again and again and again. And then we're going to save as and save out the different versions so we get these others that sit independent of one another, but they're not all in one single layer stack. Let's come back and I'll show you how that's done.